Well, to try and help him lose weight, Mike has been handing out these posters to local takeaways, banning them from serving Dibsy. So even in our studio, the cafe this morning refused to serve him breakfast.
Sorry,
there you go. And you don't argue with Fleur. I mean, she's refused to serve us for no good reason. But has it worked? So Dibsy is here now, along with personal trainer Mike. So good morning.
Good morning,
to
both.
both of you. Lovely to see you. And we'll explain all that in a moment, because there is nothing shaming about this. That's not what this has been designed to do. But we'll explain that in just a second. Have you always struggled with your weight?
Yeah, I've struggled with my weight most of my life. Since my teenage years, definitely. But I'd say over the last couple of years, it's spiralled like out of control.
So would you say that you eat, it's sort of comfort eat, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. If I get sad or something, I feel emotional or something, I will comfort eat, and that's what I turn to. That's my bad habit.
Yeah,
And what weight are you? Well, I know you've lost a bit now. We'll come to that in a moment as well. But what weight were you?
I was 40 stone, bang on.
And what effect was that having on your life?
Massively. Just my breathing, day-to-day activities I couldn't do. I can't do any think by myself, really.
Well, it's things like, you know, if you were to get on a plane, you'd have to have 2 seats. You can't learn to drive because you can't sit behind the steering wheel. Clothing you have to have specially made for you, which just gets very expensive. But more important than any of that is the impact this was having on your health.
Yeah.
And things got very serious, didn't they?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I got took into hospital. My heart basically started to show effects of my weight, and my heart started beating rapidly, and they couldn't control it because of my weight. They didn't know how to treat me, safely with my weight.
Right.
So it was a massive problem for me.
What were you eating?
I was eating just all bad stuff: fries, chips, crisps, pop, anything really.
6 sausage sandwiches in the morning for breakfast?
It wasn't 6 sausages, it was 6 sausages in 2 sandwiches.
Yeah.
But it was still too much for me to eat. I shouldn't have been eating that, but that's just what I knew. That was my normal thing.
Yeah.
So when you went to the hospital and obviously things got very serious, they said that if you don't make a change, that you could die, that you would be putting yourself into an early grave, and that's terrifying and frightening. And also for you knowing where then to start and what to do and to get help, because you can't switch off that comfort eating thing. That's kind of ingrained within you. But you went to Mike. Mike, you've got a place that does kind of nutritional meals that runs alongside the gym. So you went there to go and pick up some meals, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And you saw him come in.
Yeah.
And you didn't approach him on that day, though?
No, I don't think it would have been the right time to approach him then. He'd already made the step himself to do something about his weight. I just asked my team the next day who he was, and he obviously caught my eye. He's a big lad, as we can see. And I asked him who he was. I'd done a little bit of research on what he's done in the past, and asked him to come down and see me.
So you looked at his Facebook profile, and fully checked him out, because every year, I mean, and your program is is pretty expensive. If you want to do that and go on it, I mean, is it £35,000?
I don't actually offer it for sale. It's not something that I offer. I do it for free every year. So that includes your diet, your training.
You do a one-off for free. The rest of everyone else will pay.
But I wouldn't do that service outside of this. It's only just one program.
So one person per year gets this sort of service, and you have obviously always got your eye out who's going to benefit. So you saw Dibsy here. What was it that made you look at him and think, OK, even when you checked out his profile and you'd found out more about him, what clicked?
I seen what Dibsy's done in the past with charities, helping kids at Christmas. He does a lot for other people, and I think it's time now Dibsy got a little bit of help back. He didn't know what to turn, he didn't know what to do, and it's when I sat down and spoke to him, it was clear that he had an addiction to food.
And that was quite hard for you to hear at first, wasn't it? Because he hasn't sort of mollycoddled you with any of this.
No, definitely not. He's just told me what I need to hear.
Yeah.
When everyone else has said, oh, you'll get it off, you'll do it next year, or you'll do it in a couple of months. Mike sat down just as the doctors did and said, you can't keep doing this to yourself. Keep doing it to yourself, you won't be around for much longer. That's the reality.
These posters do seem quite harsh. And you went into, because I asked him what he liked takeaways, and so went into all the takeaways that he went into, and showed him that, gave him that to put up.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've done it in the past with certain clients. There's some clients you couldn't do that with, they couldn't face that, but Dibsy knew that was his problem. It was 10 o'clock at night when he'd go on his phone, on his app, and he'd order food. So me and him together went the first one, he's seen how I've done it. They got a letter attached to that, so they explained that it's not for the public to see. It's just
this is behind the counter. That's not.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not facing front.
No, it's for the staff to see. So his address is banned. So if he tries to order online, it'll reject his order. If his phone number comes up, it won't let him have it. But I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think it's something he's going to do.
You haven't been tempted as yet. It's been a week, hasn't it?
Not at all, not one bit. I wouldn't. It's just worked the total deterrent for me.
So that's the kind of the food side of things, and that's a small part of the food thing. I know you looked at your nutrition as a whole. You're eating, I think, sort of 3,000 calories a day, whereas you were eating 11,000 calories. So these are big changes you made. Exercise is also a big, important part of this. 7 days a week you're training. I mean, little baby steps at the moment.
About 30 minutes a day. And obviously it's really difficult because Dibsy can't use machines in the gym. They can't bear his weight. So everything that we've got to do is sort of body weight. And at 40 stone, that's a challenge in itself. So we have to do things which to the general public would just be simple. But for Dibsy, just walking with, he's lost 2 stone now, so I'll put a vest on him, what weighs 2 stone, to see the difference of what he's lost. And he really struggled with that extra 2 stone.
I bet you can't believe it, can you?
It's madness how I can lose that much weight in such a little time.
A week, 2 stone in a week.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
I can honestly sit here and say I've ate more than I ever have before.
Yes, you're just eating healthily.
Yeah, it's just the right things to eat. I'm just eating healthy constantly, drinking plenty of water and just following Mike's advice.
Yeah.
What I love about the two of you as well is that actually this has become a friendship. And Mike, you know that actually to lose weight is not easy. It is an emotional journey, actually, as we saw with you. So there are those moments when he'll pick up the phone and if he's struggling, he can just talk to you.
Yeah, 24 hours a day. He struggled on Saturday night, Dibs.
Yeah, definitely.
Saturday night, it was about 9 o'clock and he wasn't in a very good place. He was a bit worried about everything what's going on. So we went down and opened the gym and we had a session, didn't we? Yeah. And it's things like that will just take his mind off it. Just getting him out of his comfort zone, which is food.
Yeah,
so what is the goal?
The goal
for both of you
at the moment is to get to a healthy weight, which Mike thinks I'll need to lose around 20 stone to do that. And then my personal goal is to get back into work and just live my life normally as everyone else does, do my driving lessons, go on like holidays and stuff like that. Yeah, I've got a lot of time left,
yes,
and well, I have now. Yeah. I've made the step.
And what is your goal for him? How long are you looking at?
He's got this with me for a year. In that year, I'd like to educate him enough so he can go on and carry this on. It's not something I'm just wanting to be dependent on me. I want him to learn how his body works, make the right choices going forward. So not just him, so his full family can benefit from this. And I think if we can halve his body weight within a year, I think he'll be in a good place to continue as this.
Well, we think you are absolutely brilliant, and we'd love to follow your progress as you go. It'd be great to see in a year's time where you've got to, and along the way, really, because I think a lot of people will be quite inspired about you being brave enough to sit here today and make these changes. Yeah,
I like to say he's followed me, but this is my time now. I've got no doubt about it. This time it is going to work for me, and I'm going to, if they do have hard days, I'm going to make sure I get through them.
Yeah. Well, keep in touch. Come back and see us. But obviously both of you, and let us know how you're going. You know, the ups and downs. Because it's nothing is ever simple. You're working incredibly hard, and we're all full of admiration for you, and for you with this free program as well. So
well done,
so
Mike.
keep in touch. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, good luck.
Thank you very much.